Hi, this is Kim, Gypsy Wylde Art. Happy Wednesday, October 20th. Full moon today. I pulled this. This is my calendar. It says I do work I love and I am well paid for it. Well, I do love this. This is free reading, not paid. If you want her free reading, I do that too. But this one's free for the full moon. We have just come off Mercury retrograde. It ended the 18th. And this one had people reeling, it seems like. Mercury retrograde is not the big nasty it appears to be. What happens is it brings up a lot of stuff that we thought we've already dealt with, and here it is in your purview again, and you have to deal with it again after you thought you had already dealt with it. So it churns up all that stuff that is no longer necessary in your life, and you've got to address it once again. And I think this was a pretty rough one for a lot of people, myself included. So it's not like I'm coming from a place of where it doesn't touch me either. That's not true. I'm affected just like other people are. So I thought I would come on today because it is a full moon. And the card says, take time to relax, recharge, and replenish your inner strength. Excuse me. And also, this is a full Aries moon. So that's, you got a lot of fiery passion going on with Aries. And so this whole reading that I've done, I've pulled the Emperor card out. And I'll show that to you. But before I do that, I'm going to finish reading this. And it says, remain sensitive to others to avoid confrontation. So that's one of the things of Mercury retrograde. And even though we're still kind of out of it, it looks like this full moon might keep it going a little bit because it's all fiery and passion. And so try to be considerate of other people in your life when this energy hits. So there's not, hurt feelings, that kind of thing. I have pulled cards. I've pulled the Emperor card from 4 different decks, and then I'm going to do a reading without the Emperor cards in the deck. I'm going to do a reading about the Aries moon and what we can do going forward. But first, I just wanted to show you these cards. This is the traditional Rider-Waite Emperor. So the Emperor is, he's determined, he's headstrong, he represents a father figure lots of times. He's inspired action, he's Aries, so he's a fire sign, so that's all about creativity and passion and movement and, fire and drive. So he's inspired action, he's personal power, he is a masculine energy, and he is all about some authority. He's also a number 4 in numerology, which is stability and structure. And like I said, he's Aries in the zodiac, so that's all about some fire. And there's some different representations of him here. This one is from Tarot Over the Rainbow, and he looks to be a hybrid of some sort, but he still is sitting on his throne. He's very in command. He's in power. The Emperor can be very rigid and unmoving too, and he can also be over controlling. And sometimes, if it comes up in a reading, he takes people's power away because he is so authoritarian, and you got to do things his way. And here's a different version. This is Lightseer's Tarot. He's still in command. He's still sitting on a throne. In this case, it looks like it's a planet. Might be Mercury, possibly. I don't know. I don't have that association. And astrology is not my area of expertise yet. I'm working on it. But he's very smart. He's very analytical. He plans his moves out, as you can see by the chess piece here. And then the last one is the Teeny Tiny Witches deck, and I'll get him a little closer. So in this one, I was kind of surprised to see the children represented in this card. But he is, lots of times, it comes up as a father figure, and lots of times he comes up if a person is having issues with, like, masculine authority like that. So we pulled all the emperors out. And now we're going to get to the reading. Well, first I'm going to read you a little bit just about a general reading for Aries, the Emperor. So the connection to the divine masculine energy in the Emperor is what leads you to take action from a place of power rather than reacting from a place of fear. Now, we've just come through Mercury retrograde, so we've all been kind of in a fear landscape dealing with crap that we thought we'd already dealt with before. And hopefully a lot of that has been dealt with and churned out. And so now we're dealing with a new full moon in Aries. So it's time to take some of your personal power back. Hopefully you gained insights from anything you went through Mercury retrograde and are coming in from a place where you're more empowered because you've dealt with some of your stuff. So the Emperor urges you to connect to your inner authority, acknowledge your ambition, drive, and power in a way that serves greater good and not just yourself. Okay, now I've combined two separate spreads going forward into this reading. So this is a collective reading. If you're seeing it, it's for you. Even if it's not this date, you still might find value in this. So I'm going to start with the traditional Rider-Waite, and I'm going to ask, what is our goals for this cycle? What are we working for? What do we want? Where do we focus our energy going forward? And I'm just going to pull 2 cards from each deck. So this is what are our goals for this cycle, and also what must you leave behind? Because we just came through Mercury retrograde, and that is about dealing with stuff from the past, and lots of us have baggage that we need to leave behind. So let's see what that is. Let's see what we need to leave behind on this one. All right. That was those 2 questions. Now, question number 3 is, what fuels my drive? And so this is your passion. This is what's keeping that fire motivated. It could be it could be love. It could be creativity. It could be let's find out what it is. Let's find out what fuels you. And I'm using the little tiny deck for this one. What fuels my drive? Okay, and then also, where you need to relax, because the Emperor has a very firm grip on everything and he is always in control. But in some areas of your life, you can't have that crippling grip. So where do you need to relax? All right, next deck is Tarot Over the Rainbow. And the next question is, where do you need to focus all that fiery energy coming up? Where do you focus the energy? And then the next question is, where do you take action? So energy, action, and last deck is one of my favorites, the Lightseer deck. And this is, where do I need to retreat? Because like I said, the Emperor is all about some fiery energy, but you've got to take some time for yourself. And if you push through with that fiery energy around all the people around you, you're going to offend somebody. It's just, you've got to temper all that fiery energy with compassion for people. So the Where Do I Retreat card, let's see what it has to say here in just a second. And then the last question is, where do I need to charge ahead and through? So some situations are going to require you to forge on through and push on forward. So we've got that. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say. Question 1, what is my goal for this cycle? And it's the Knight of Pentacles. And knights are, they all went out and gathered the tools of their suit. In this case, Pentacles is money. So, but he's not charging, he's just kind of waiting. So Pentacles is very grounded, and he's very focused on material issues. You see, he's looking at his money and his pentacles, and he's being pensive about it. So he's thinking, he's waiting, he's holding on to his money. So maybe that is our goal for this cycle, is to be more monetarily minded, and perhaps watch your finances if you've been overspending, or if you're just starting a nest egg. Now would be a good time to go forward with that. So our goals are money and grounded. Money and being grounded are the goals for this cycle. What must I leave behind? Okay, and I've got the Page of Cups. Typically the pages are messengers, and in this case it's water, so he's all about emotions and balancing that. He's considered to be a young person, so his emotions are kind of immature. So maybe that's what you need to leave behind, is some of, maybe you need to gain some emotional maturity and leave behind the emotional immaturity. You don't want to act like a child emotionally. You don't want to be throwing temper fits, and so maybe you leave some of the higher peaked emotions behind and try to become more balanced and more even keel during this coming up cycle. All right, question number 3. What fuels my drive? And this is the Six of Swords. So this is talking about coming from choppier waters. So we're coming out of a cycle where we've had conflict, and now we're moving on to smoother waters as well. But in this card, you notice that they're carrying their swords with them and through the bottom of the boat. So what fuels your drive is to leave some of this behind, perhaps, because you want. We came out of Mercury retrograde. We've all gone through some mess. We're headed towards clearer waters, but we need to drop some of these swords. So perhaps letting go of some of your past is what's going to fuel your drive in this next cycle, and you're moving towards clearer waters. So more emotional stability. Even though this is a swords card, there's a lot of water going on here, which leads me to think that that's emotions. So perhaps what's fueling you, or what you're pushing towards with some of this fiery energy, is looking for more even keel for yourself and some calmer waters. But unload a little bit more baggage if you're still carrying that around with you. All right. Number 4 is, where do I need to relax? Well, the Six of the Wands is all about the accolades. And the Wands is fire and passion and that kind of thing. But this gentleman has obviously come back from a successful victory. He's got the laurel wreath, and so he's getting accolades. So if you have a hard time accepting congratulations or success for a job well done, now is the time you need to relax on that and take the accolades that are due you, that you are due. You've also obviously come off of cycle where you have done well, and now's the time to celebrate just a little bit, like this guy's doing. So relax into the accolades and the satisfaction of a job well done. All right, moving right along. Where should I focus all my fiery energy? All right, and okay, so all this fiery energy has led to the Hermit card. So the Hermit has taken some time for solitude and self-reflection, and that's not a bad thing. He's carrying his light out, and so his own personal inside light is illuminating his path. So focusing all this energy would be going within. The Hermit is a major arcana card, so this is soul lessons possibly for some of y'all watching this. Not every card is going to apply to everybody. This is just an overview of the cycle going forward with the new moon. But this is the only major arcana card that's come up so far. So the lesson here is we all need to retreat just a little bit. Perhaps we are not totally done with some of the baggage of the past, and going within and following your own light is going to help you get there just a little quicker. So you could focus your energy on improving your relationship with yourself. Where do I take action? Okay, well, the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Wands is, he is standing his ground. He has been beaten up and abused. If I showed you the Rider-Waite version of this card, you'd understand it just a little bit better. The Rider-Waite version has a guy who's got a bandage around his head. He has been beat up by the situation, and he's very wary of all the wands in the background. But it's almost the completion of a cycle, not quite, because it's a number 9. So this is urging you to dig in just a little bit deeper. So that's where your action card is. If you are thinking about leaving, or particularly in a job or a career or something like that, you might want to just stick it out a little bit longer and dig your heels in and keep watch. And even though you've been beat up and abused, which kind of looks like you might have been in this card over here, you're headed for clearer waters. You're headed for clearer waters, but you have some baggage still that you're going to have to unload, and you need to stand your ground. This is fiery energy, and so you can do it with the Aries and the Nine of Wands. You will be successful in holding the ground that you've made and holding your own. All right. Where do I retreat? Ooh, okay. This is why I bought this particular deck, the Eight of Swords. In the Rider-Waite, the depiction is a woman who's blindfolded and apparently bound, and she's surrounded by swords, only she's not all the way surrounded. She can get out. Her bonds, the ties that bind her are not anything but her own making, and this is the case here too. And so I'm thinking Mercury retrograde has left some of y'all still a little sorting some stuff out. These cards kind of lean towards that. And in this case, the Eight of Swords, it is just you fighting yourself. So when you dig a little deeper, maybe you're not totally done with the inside work, the shadow work. This card is all about looking at some of the less desirable aspects of yourself and realizing it's you and not other people, and correcting that. So where do I retreat? You retreat into your own head and do some soul searching. This card is urging this, and actually this card is urging this as well. And the last card, where do I need to charge ahead and through? Now this is interesting because this is the Six of Wands as well. And we've pulled two of the same cards in this reading. So we pulled it for where do I need to relax and where do I need to charge ahead and charge through. So that's interesting. That's kind of contradictory here. So the message seems to be that if you continue, if you hold your ground, realize you are headed towards higher ground, but you've still got a little work left to do, then these two cards are indicating that you need to go within. Both of these are a go within, find your own light to light your way. But you've got some inner demons, some paper dragons that still have a little slaying left to do. But once you realize they don't have power over you, poof, they go away. So you just need to identify them and realize that you are the cause of most of your own suffering, not other people. And once you're aware of that, you can course correct and fix it. And at the end of the day, this is going to be a very successful cycle coming up. There's going to be accolades, there's going to be success, there's going to be laurel wreaths at the end of this coming out. So that was my quick reading for the full moon in Aries for October 20th. And I'm Kim, Gypsy Wylde Art. If you would like to book a private reading with me, you can contact me through kim@kimwatts.com, or you can find me on Facebook. I'm Kim Watts, or I can be reached on Etsy, where I make ceramic energy working tools, as well as runes and pendulums and pendulum sets and charm casting kits and that kind of thing. You can find me at gypsywylde.com, and I will drop everything in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you found value with this. Have a fabulous, fabulous Wednesday and full moon, and I hope this was helpful for you. Thanks for stopping by.